Welcome back, Truth Seeker.
Thanks to everyone who hits the like and the share. I appreciate everyone who downloads the videos and re-uploads it on other social media platforms. This information needs to get out.
I agree completely.
And I get so tired of my critics are like, Zach thinks he's so much better than everybody else and Zach talks down about society so much. You want to know why? You want me to be real blunt? Because I know both of those things are fucking true. And you know how I know they're true? Because I've been living on this earth for almost 40 years now, and that's been the case the whole fucking time. Superior, okay? Ego. There's a reason I'm the human being on this earth who's the first to figure this shit out and present it. It's always about you over everything else. And you're the sorry-ass motherfucker I've been having to live around my whole life who still can't appreciate it, who doesn't know their place. And let me tell you where it is. Way the fuck beneath me. Okay? Ego. And again, you guys, for all the people who get mad that I say things like, I'm glad that the Illuminati is doing what they're doing with their mass jab and get rid of the population program. I mean, seriously, guys, do you think it's a problem if Sassy Cassie dies? To me, that's like, thank you, hallelujah. I mean, get rid of all these fucking people. I think it's great that they're getting rid of a lot of people because it needs to happen. These people fucking suck. They're worthless. They're human pieces of shit. They're fucking dumb as rocks. I was making good money in my business until that was sabotaged, and it was sabotage for teaching about this. I guarantee you, had I never taught about this, that weed business would have never been touched and sabotaged. And I wish I could go back. I'd rewind the clock all the way back, and I would have kept all this knowledge to myself and just kept the weed business going until I was a multi-millionaire because I was well on the path. And then I would have come out and said, okay, now I can bankroll all the shit I need to do. Because the model of putting it out there for free and helping a bunch of people make a bunch of profit like I've been doing for the last decade, it doesn't make enough generosity come back to get the goals to where they now need to be. So it's like working for pennies when you should be getting paid dollars.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I don't know if you heard me say this before, but Bill Hicks, the comedian, I always loved his line that Hitler had the right idea. He was only an underachiever. And again, Hitler's idea was that society needed to be a lot sharper, a lot more intelligent, and dumb people we don't need to cater to. In fact, they don't even need to exist. And a lot of people, oh my God, Hitler. But it's like, the reason they make Hitler seem so bad is because he said a lot of things that were 1,000,000% true. He told you who was running the world, which he wasn't wrong about. And he said there were way too many dumb people that needed to be gotten rid of. And again, I couldn't agree more. I have all these critics in the world who are like, oh, Zach wants to get rid of people. Yeah, you're fucking right. I want to get rid of people. Look at these sorry-ass motherfuckers. What is the point of their existence? They need to be gone. Adios. I don't care if they're your friends and family. They're my friends and family. See you later. The fact that people can't figure it out, again, I'll just go back to what it says in the Talmud. It does seem to be a little bit true. You know, it's totally arrogant, but it also seems to be a little bit true. And for all my haters out there, for all the Christian haters I have who still can't figure out the game, who are always talking shit about me, again, realize the reason I'm 10 steps ahead of you and the reason you have to copy and emulate what I'm doing might be because what it says in the Talmud. You know, we might be the people with the higher IQs. So, and again, understand I was raised Lutheran. I was never raised Jewish. I'm not circumcised, but genetically, I think I do have a little bit of them in me. So I got to be honest, you guys, I don't need money because, again, like the troll made a video that I got a new house. Yeah, because I just sold my other house and I moved. So I don't know why. He made a video like with me with money in my eyeballs buying a house. Yeah, I sold my house. I got a new house that's the same value. By the way, freetofindtruth.com. It's the spot to go to. But nobody cares. I mean, that's why it's just like, I'm debating on doing something different. I'm debating on setting up a business again because I need more resources to make something happen. You cannot make anything happen in this world without resources. I'm proving it. Here, I'm putting out awesome information every day on the interweb. Is it changing the world? No, the world's getting worse. It might be changing it for some people, but there needs to be a bigger mass intervention, and I keep calling on this community to help out. And thank you to everyone who does. but there's just way too many people that just stand by every day with their hands in their pockets. Again, I want resources for a purpose, you know? Or you keep listening to the troll over there. Troll's worried that I sold my house and got another house. Disingenuous argument after disingenuous argument. Oh, we got a new car. Guess what? Sweet lady has a job now and makes $70 an hour. And don't be saying because sweet lady makes $70 an hour, she should be supporting what I'm doing. She worked her ass off to get to where she is because she wanted to support her family back in Burma, and that's exactly what she's doing, you know? So, yeah, but for the sorry-ass troll out there, again, get a fucking life. It's just annoying as hell. I mean, that guy's a fucking loser. He thinks it's okay to keep putting out my personal information.
Actually, you did that.
And then making disingenuous shit. I sold my house, stupid-ass motherfucker, and I bought another house.
What, you gonna cry?
No.
No, go ahead, cry. Let me see you. Let me see you cry.
Again, to me, I'm all about Jesus' teaching of the golden rule. Treat other people the way you want to be treated.
Zach, do you want to get on the show? No debate, no rivalry. Do you want to get on the show and I'll ask you a few questions? We'll speak like men.
Okay, how's that?
No, I can hear you clearly. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Like, I will give you this all day long. You are the person that taught me that everything's connected. I'll be forever grateful. You taught me that. Everything in the world of entertainment is connected by a code. 100% agree with you.
I do have to get off, Adam, but yeah, I just wanted to come on because I know how it is when you get something wrong, how all the haters just come out of the woodwork.
Oh no, I'm past all of that. I can deal with that. I'll just keep exposing. That's my goal. I'll expose and
Learn this knowledge. You see how helpful it can be.
yeah, that Brady.
Get off, Adam, but,
Oh, okay, sorry.
keep up the good work, and yeah, the thing about your videos that I will give you some criticism is almost every time I tune in, I know I don't have to listen for more than 5 minutes before it's coming out of your mouth that you're the greatest decoder of all time. And again, it's good to have confidence in yourself, so keep it up. All right, well, keep up the good work, and yeah, sounds
You
like
too.
you're already not listening to haters, so that's something you got to have if you're going to be on the tube, because there's just haters everywhere.
All right, mate.
Have a good one.
Take care. Bye. Again, what Zach and I just did there, probably should do it more often. We have disagreements. He thinks this about me. I think that about him. But we both have a lot of knowledge to share.
By the way, you guys, there is somebody in this community who claims to be the greatest decoder, and they embarrassed themselves because they said England would win the World Cup, and I don't even think they had Argentina in the conversation. But I'll tell you who's the best football decoder in the world. He's in the chat right now. Well, depending on what stream you are, Script Unveiled. I mean, this guy puts out short, powerful videos packed with numbers that are undeniable, and his videos are usually 2 minutes long. Always great information. The other guy who's always talking about how great he is, he streams for 3 hours at a time and says absolutely nothing. So, and by the way, he also said to me months ago, Zach doesn't know how to decode international football. Well, guess what? My World Cup prediction was right on. Yours was a big whiff.
I know how it is when you get something wrong, how all the haters just come out of the woodwork.
You got that right. Let's get ready to rumble!
Before anybody says anything, this is not taking my energy. This has not rattled me. I ain't gonna be angry. My role is to expose, and I'm gonna expose. He appeared on the live being all nice to me. You can go back and listen to it. All nice to me. Keep up the good work. The only thing he said is, I'm cocky. I always tell the world how good I am, that I'm the best. And yeah, I am cocky. I am cocky. I admit that. Completely oblivious to the fact that he talks like he knows everything. So I gave him the chance, like I always do with people. All right. No ego involved. I got him on the show. I wouldn't have known about this and if it wasn't for my bro Chuck. Amazing guy. Fantastic coder. Genuine person. He said, Zach Hubbard's called you out again after your phone call. I was like, oh, what's he said now? What's he saying about me now? Like he said, I stole his Queen decode. Zach, where's your book on the Queen? Like mine. All right. Where is it? I've got videos from 2 years ago saying the Queen would die in 96. I've seen you did about 10 different predictions for her death date.
He's right, you know.
So again, for the troll who made the video, who probably works at Quantico, who has no life, is a total loser, prove that you have an ounce of dignity and go back and say Zach was right about the Queen being synced up with the NFL season and the numbers he said that would be connected to her death.
All right, going back years and years ago, I think she's going to die this year. I think she's going to die at this age. I think she's going to die at this age. I always said 96. And Zach said, there's this Englishman, he will never say my name in a live stream. He will never say the illusion. He always says this cocky Englishman. You're comical. And then you go in live telling everyone you said Argentina, France before the World Cup began and raving on about it. And it was all about the Pope. And the illusion never once mentioned Argentina. Mate, I've got a video from a year ago saying that Aguero sacrificed his career for Argentina to get to the World Cup final from a year ago. And then you even said in your live, well, your first prediction was England, Argentina, because you copied me, mate. Because you copied me. And the England and Argentina riddle was fantastic. Somebody like Rambo is phenomenal. He can out-talk you. He's got more knowledge in his little finger than you. And you even act like you're superior to him. So Zachary K. Hubbard, I'm not going to go into exactly how I feel about you, but I'm gonna expose you right now. All right? You are incredibly toxic. So what I'm going to do right now is this. I had a guy called William. Well, I have a friend called William, a really good guy. And he said, look at this illusion. Read Zach Hubbard's picks. He can't give a clear pick. I was like, all right, then send me his codes. Listen to these picks, all right? Script Unveiled's a great guy, does really good work. But what I'm saying is Zach said, I'm a fraud. I never mentioned Argentina. I speak for 3 hours on live streams without revealing anything. Well, Zach, look what I'm going to reveal here. I'm going to absolutely ruin you. You're playing with the wrong guy with me, Hubbard. I've said this to you before. I've ruined you many times before, and I'm going to do it again because you deserve to be ruined because you're a liar. You always come on my show, be all nice to me, always tell me to keep up the good work, and then you hammer me.
So let's listen to some of Zach Hubbard's picks, shall we? Let's listen to what he gives people. Sign up to my Patreon where we win every week and I give clear picks. Now you don't. I was on your Patreon years ago and I left because it was mediocre. You don't provide anything of significance. In your live streams, you say some good stuff. You clearly have a knowledge of numbers. This guy needs calling out. Anybody who has any type of spirit and is not completely gullible and delusional, which you are at the beginning of the journey, like I was, you can see through Zach so clearly.
Yes, preach!
So let's listen to Zach Hubbard's picks, all right? I don't cover both teams all the time like this guy, so listen to this. I'm only going to read out his conclusion. And for me, guys, a conclusion is where you have something that is clear. You have something that's clear in a conclusion. So let's listen to his picks. And then no doubt he did a live stream after. I'm sure he always does a live stream after to say, support the truth community, support it. Another perfect day in the NFL. Liar. So, okay, let's start with game one. Steelers versus Falcons. Let's see how he opens up his conclusion. Close call.
Close call.
DC for your 33. Close call, Hubbard. If you play this game, I would be sure to hedge. That's his first pick. Close call, I would hedge. So basically, bet on both teams. And then what he'll do is do a live stream. And then if Pittsburgh won, he'll tell you the numbers as to why Pittsburgh won. Well, Pittsburgh had this, and this. And it was really blatant they were going to win because they had this. Right, let's look at the Packers and the Bears. Conclusion. Close call.
Close call. Close call.
What stands out the most is that the Packers can get to 5-8 for the season while Rodgers picks up his 58th road win and his 58th win versus the NFC North. And keep in mind, the big G on their helmet is a lot like the symbol of Freemasonry. Freemasonry equals 58. Secret Society equals 58. Freemasonry has a fascination with 13 as well. Week 13, 5 + 8 equals 13. If that happens, the Bears will get their 6th straight loss. Week 13, 6 prime, and their 10th loss of the season on the 4th. 10's the 4th triangular number. Also, the Packers coach can stay on 18 losses. Bears equals 18 and get 46 wins. Chicago equals 46. And if Rodgers does win, he is 10-3 in Week 13, the 103rd NFL season. We've seen 103 playing with Rodgers versus the Bears since the death of Bart Starr. Right? That, if he just put that, I would say, brilliant code. Great code. Packers win, blatant, really good code. Yes, Rodgers is connected to 103. It's huge. But then he has to do this to cover himself. He has to do this. All right? Which just ruins his whole code. Because if Chicago would have won, this is what he would have done in his life. That said, it would be smart to hedge in this game as well, because Fields can get to 1-3 versus the Packers in Week 13. And Aaron Rodgers seems to be getting a lot of scripts where he's instructed to throw to the other team. What else is he saying for Chicago? Another reason for a hedge is the Packers can pick up their 35th loss in Week 13 and Chicago equals 35. Just like Chicago equals 46, eh? And the Packers coach could get his 46 wins. So, and their 27th road loss in Week 13 on the day leaving 27 days left in the year. They can also get their 6th road loss, Week 13, 6 prime. And for one more, it is that the Bears will face the Eagles 4-9 if they upset the Packers, and Eagles equals 49. Keep in mind there's more value on the Chicago side. So if you play Packers, a parlay with the Bears and some of the solid games would result in a nice payout offsetting any potential Packers losses. Pick number 1, close call. Pick number 2, close call. Let's go into pick number 3, shall we, and see what Hubbard's got in store. And when he says this, all right, when he says, if you play the Packers, a parlay with the Bears and some of the solid games could result in a nice payout. Let me see if I find any solid games that he posted here. Any solid ones like I do every day. Jaguars versus Lions. And he's a liar, guys. Just arguably one of the biggest frauds on YouTube.
Biggest fraud I'd ever encountered.
Anyone he sees as a threat, he calls out and ruins. He's called out the wrong guy with me. He really has. So let's see what he's got for the Lions against the Jaguars. Conclusion, close call.
Pretty close calls.
So 3 games, no clear picks so far. All right, let's go again. His 4th pick, Jets versus the Vikings. What's he got for this one? Close call.
Yeah, man, close call.
Is a liar and a fraud. And he says there's people in this community that are ruining this community, embarrassing this community. He is supposedly Mr. Gematria. When you come across this work, you're led to that fraud. And he's calling everybody else frauds. If anybody calls him up on his show, he cuts you off. He hangs up on you. Or when you're talking, his internet connection goes out. But when he talks, it's clear. All right? How interesting. So again, no clear pick. That's 4 out of 4. No clear pick. Commanders versus the Giants. Conclusion. Close call.
Too close to call, really.
This is just, it's laughable. As for the favored Commanders, if they do win and cover this week, they will be 5-7-1 against the spread. Commanders equals 57. Wait, how is 571, 571, 57? Can somebody tell me how 571 is 57? It's some of the most weakest codes I've ever seen this. And that is arguably the top clue in this game. Keep in mind, though, guys, keep in mind, if Washington does win, all right, Heineke also gets his 13th win in the NFL, week 13. And he has been the hot hand. Then again, Washington can also pick up their 6th loss in week 13. 13, the 6th prime. How are you paying this guy? Anyone who's on this guy's Patreon, what are you actually paying for? What are you actually paying for? For him to give you some numbers and no clear picks, and then have the audacity to do a live stream afterwards and say another perfect day in the NFL for my Patreons. Well done, guys, if you took my pick on the Bears. Even though I had loads of numbers for the other team. So that's 5 out of 5, no clear pick. Titans versus the Eagles. All right, he hasn't said close call here, but the top clue in this game is the Titans falling to 4-3 on the road. Titans equals 43 because they play the Chargers for their next road game. Chargers equals 43. If that happens, Philadelphia also improves to 6-1. Philadelphia equals 61. Week 13, the 6th prime. And adding to the riddle is that the Eagles coach would pick up his 20th win. Titans equals 20. Here we go. That said, you might want to consider a small hedge because the Titans have good value and there is a chance that Vrabel could pick up his 49th win. Eagles equals 49. Then again, he can also pick up his 32nd loss and Eagles equals 32. If the Titans did surprise the Eagles, Tannehill would stay on 65 losses in the 65 city. Philadelphia equals 65. And the Eagles, winner of Super Bowl 52, would fall to 5-2 at home. Prophecy equals 52. Philly, the prophecy city. So the top clue was the Titans falling to 4-3. And then he gives you a whole riddle on why the Titans are going to beat the Eagles. Broncos, Ravens. All right. It appears there's a little bit more for the 8-point favorite Ravens, minus 500, who only have value if they cover the spread. No, not if you get them in play, like you could have done. And the ATS suggests they can cover, see right above. If they do win, Broncos will get their 6th road loss, week 13, 6th prime. That said, he loves those 2 words. That said, I think the Broncos are worth $1 parlay on the chance they get to 2-5 away. Ravens equals 25 prior to their next road game on Christmas, the 25th of December. They have huge value as a parlay multiplier, and it makes them well worth the small risk of a chance of an upset. So So just know you put these in your parlay and they lost. Your parlay's gone. So if the Ravens would have lost, which they didn't, he would have told you all, you're a dumbass. I told you to put the Broncos in a parlay, you dumbass. You dumbass. If you would have done that with that pick and that pick, you would have won a ton of money, dumbass. Really? You basically said the Ravens were going to win. But if they didn't win, you would have told everybody the 25 riddle for the Broncos, wouldn't you? Browns, Texans. Conclusion: in week 1, Russell Wilson lost in his Broncos debut to his old team, the Seahawks. In the same week, Mayfield lost in his debut with the Panthers to his old team, the Browns. The same thing could happen now to Deshaun Watson, who's making his debut versus his old team, the Texans. If that does happen, it has tremendous value and is well worth $1 parlay. Well, who won that game? The Browns. So the Texans did not win the game at all. Okay? Seahawks versus the Rams. Conclusion: close call.
Close call.
Dolphins, 49ers. Conclusion: close call.
Close call. Close call.
This would be another smart game to hedge if you decide to play it. So back both teams. Back both teams and you'll probably win. Chiefs versus Bengals. Conclusion: all the top clues point to the Chiefs. The Bengals won this game. All the top clues pointed to the Chiefs. The Bengals won. So one of the few clear picks he has, they lost. Chargers versus Raiders. Conclusion: close call.
Close call.
Both quarterbacks make sense with a win or a loss. Can let me say this again. This is what he's charging people for. Let me cover both again. And then I'll go live afterwards and tell everybody I said that the Raiders were going to win or the Chargers were going to win. Colts versus Cowboys. Conclusion: do you believe in miracles? Seemingly, it would take one for the Colts to win with the scripts Matt Ryan has been working with lately and how the Cowboys are playing. But there is a chance. There is a chance that he picks up his 129th win 201 days after his birthday. In the game, no one sees coming. 129 is 201 in base 8 counting. Indianapolis equals 201. If that happens, there's a lot of value to be gained. Let's see how this game ended. 54 points to the Cowboys, 19 to the Colts.
Sounds like a bloodbath.
Giving you all this riddle for the Colts and they get beat 54-19. Great pick, Zach. Great pick. Saints versus Bucks. Let's read his last line because this one's too long. So like most of the games this week, I would be cautious. Let's see how he ends this. For that reason, it might be wise to take the points if you take the Patriots. All right, if you took the Patriots, you would have lost. This guy speaks down to you, mocks you, makes you feel dumb, and then he's putting out codes that a mediocre coder can do. This guy is making tens of thousands of dollars a month, and he wants to attempt to go live after I let him on my show, where all he did was basically call me big-headed and that I tell everyone how good I am. Have you guys not ever heard the guy in a live stream? He tells people that they deserve to die.
I'm glad you're calling in because people understand why I ran about sorry-ass motherfuckers and why you need to be turned into fertilizer. Sir, your purpose is fucking rotting in the ground. You don't have a fucking purpose. I hate a sorry-ass motherfucker like this. You guys don't know how I am. I want to kill this motherfucker.
That depopulation's actually a good thing.
And again, you guys, for all the people who get mad that I say things like, I'm glad that the Illuminati's doing what they're doing with their mass jab and get rid of the population program. I think it's great that they're getting rid of a lot of people because it needs to happen.
Because there's too many people on this planet who are dumbasses and they deserve a bullet in their head.
I mean, literally, these people need a bullet in their head. They really do. Bullet in the fucking head is what these people need.
This is what he's telling people. And then he's giving out the most mediocre sports codes ever. He's going to tell everyone that he can outcode me and that I'm a fraud. And that if it wasn't for him, there wouldn't be an illusion. and then tell me it's me who has the ego. Yet tells the world that if Illusion didn't find my work, he wouldn't even have a YouTube page and a website. It's all because of me. Yet I'm the one with the ego. I can go on and on about this guy. We all know he's toxic. I've just shown you that's what you're paying for if you go on his Patreon. That's what you're paying for. He wants you to hate the world, does Zach. He wants you to hate the world and not believe in God. And if you're a Christian, you're a dumbass. If you believe in God, you're an idiot.
This is why I hate fucking Christians. I fucking do, man. They're all fucking scumbags. All of them. They're fucking retarded. I'm fucking sick of religious people. Wipe them off the fucking face of the earth. Oh, this book that they printed for us is the Word of God. Oh, really, moron? You must be fucking retarded.
If the Bills win the NFL, the Super Bowl, he's going to do all that code about the Buffalo shooting. If they don't, okay, I've got to scrap that. If the Eagles win it, he's going to say it's all about revelation. I've told you, Philadelphia is connected to revelation. He's going to do that. If Brady wins it, he's going to tell you he's gone 8-3 and he's born 8-3 and football gets you 83 and 83 is the 23rd prime and it's his 23rd season. He's going to tell you that one. If the Bucks win it and say, well, I did say after week 3 that Brady and the Bucks had a phenomenal riddle. If the Chiefs win, there's a phenomenal riddle from Mahomes. He's going to give you that one. And he's going to say, after week 5, guys, I did tell you that there was a strong narrative for the Chiefs to win it, won't it? So that's how he operates. He's a fraud. If Miami Dolphins win it, it all connects to Don Shula. And if you go back to this video that I posted, you'll see I said that Miami had a great shot. So he'll do it for about 7-8 different teams. Just because I said England had an exceptional riddle, which they did, which you stole off me because you told people it's going to be England-Argentina final, like I said a year and a half ago. Yeah, Argentina are there, and you're dismissing that you said England would be there, but I said it would be Argentina-England. You're a fraud, you're a liar, you hate on people, and you act like you want to bring us all together, and the only way that we could be brought together is if we support the movement and sign up to your Patreon. You lied, you've stolen money off people, you said you'd set up communities for people, which is just absolutely unrealistic and pathetic and just playing on people's emotions. If you fell for that, I actually feel sorry for you falling for that, but you're very naive. Set up a community and buy land and build houses and provide food and just code all day. You got played by him, and people who are signing up to him at this point are going to get played again. And I've told you, if you're new to Gematria, you're going to be led to him. So, Zach Close Call Hubbard, you're a fraud. I don't even think that's your name. We don't need to get into the whole Greenblatt and, well, maybe my dad was Jewish or whatever it is. I don't know any of that. I don't frankly care. You've called me out numerous occasions. You've gone from telling the whole world. There's this, when I was new on the scene, guys, and calling in when I was a Zach fanboy, like a lot of us were, just telling everyone how amazing I am and that I could be the best to ever do it about a year and a half ago. Think how good I am now. Now he's telling people that I'm a fraud, I can't code, and I've completely screwed up the World Cup. That's what he's telling everyone now. Why is he doing that? If he cares so much about truth and this community, why is he calling out one of the very best? Why? Why does he have to call me out after saying I was amazing when I was somewhat of a nobody? He promoted Itachi. And don't get me started on that guy who does crystal meth and can't code at all.
See, these two, man. Come on, man. You know why they're laughing? Come on, man. Because they...
What we are doing is we're crushing up this Puro rock.
Tony.
Let me show you this riddle. 144 day of the year. Let's write out skull and bones. Skull and bones. 144, 153.
Wait a second.
To cherry pick your numbers this way, it's embarrassing.
He promoted Itachi, yet he's hammering me. I put out clear pics, and he tells everybody that I'm a fraud. Ask yourself why he's doing that. Clearly, he sees me as a threat. What does he call me? The cocky, arrogant Englishman. No longer says my name. And he also said about me that people only listen to me because of my charming English accent. That it's my accent why people are so engaged with what I have to say.
Here comes the best part.
Sorry that I don't speak like this, and I get a close call, guys. I think it's gonna. There's definitely riddles for both quarterbacks to win and lose. Yeah, I think there's definitely riddles for 17 teams to win the Super Bowl. Just because I don't speak like a 12-year-old growing his first pubes, Zach. People are not just engaged by me because of my English accent. They're engaged with what's coming out of my mouth. He will never go on my live stream again. I've let him on a few times, let him speak his mind. All right? Give him a platform. And he's always been nice on my live streams. And then he shits on me days after every single time. He'll never come on it again. I'll never go on his show. I don't need to. I've just ruined him. And he's ruining himself now. He's complaining that his support's going down. But he won't take responsibility for it. He's blaming everybody else for why people are not supporting him anymore. He's saying good, intelligent people in the community are leaving him because haters are spreading bad things about him.
They're haters.
Exactly. He won't take any responsibility for the fact that his work's mediocre now in regards to the level I'm at. It's mediocre. And his sports picks are trash. He's toxic. More people are finding God. So those who are finding God are leaving him. He won't take responsibility. He can't say shit about me other than lies. Telling me I stole his Queen code, which I called over 2 years ago. That she died at 96. And I've told you, he's done. Go on his website, whatever he has. He's made about 10 predictions, 10 different years of when she was going to die. He's eventually going to get it right. If she didn't go at 96, he would have said 97. Then he would have said 98. Then a riddle for 101 that he had. All right. If she went at 95, he would have told you it was the 95 Theses. And Martin Luther King died on the 95th day of the year on 95 date numerology. He would have given you that one. If she went at 94, it would have said this was definitely a ritual connected to George Bush Sr., who died at age 94. 9 times 4 is 36. 666 is the 36 triangular number. She died 94 days after George Bush Jr.'s birth. He would have done all that with you. He is the person that plays people, that lies to you, and will always find a code to support his bullshit. Then the average person says that about people like me. That's not how I operate. I don't go out of my way to cover myself. But see how he had you all convinced the Bengals were going to win the Super Bowl?
Yes, he did.
But then I'm sure he did a live about why the Rams won. He implied the Bengals were winning it. He was wrong. And he convinced thousands of people to pick the Bengals. I don't blame him for that. Anyone who bets, they're adults. Can't blame Zach if you took his pick. Blame yourself. That's what I'll say. But he implied strongly the Bengals were winning. And then he told everyone, well, I did say Bengals to cover, and they covered the 4-point spread because they only lost by 3. I told you the scoreline. So Zach Hubbard is a fraud, and he will praise mediocre decoders who worship him. So he'll then have you follow mediocre decoders and remain mediocre. And he will hide people like me where he won't even say my name because he knows that I'm exposing 1,000,000 times more than he is. You don't get anywhere with his knowledge but a basic grasp of gematria. You do learn that the reality that we're living in is coded. No doubt. He taught me that. It is coded. But then you get to a certain level with him.
Zach Hubbard is the Russell brand of gematria. Put that on a t-shirt. Zach Hubbard is the Russell brand of gematria. As I've evolved and grown, Zach Hubbard, you've done the opposite. You haven't evolved with your coding, with your message. You've gone the other way, mate. If anything, your work's got worse. Your sports picks have definitely got worse. That's a fact.
What's up, everyone? Got another really interesting video for you today. Down in the description below, I've linked to a video from Sports Gematria, a channel which some of you may or may not be aware of already. Now, I'll let you guys watch that video and make your own judgments on what's happening there. Now, you guys know I'm far, far more interested in gematria itself than the people who teach it. I don't enjoy tearing other people down. I don't like that. I was a little bit disappointed that even after meeting Zach in person and sharing cordial conversation that he has once again resorted to using his YouTube channel to slander me and my work. Now, normally I take issues up with people directly. I've tried that in the past with this individual, and it's kind of pointless. Now, what's so odd about this to me is how he did reach out to me after I made an update to the calculator, and I did make the change he wanted, but he still went on these whiny rants about how I'm bad for gematria and ruining the movement. So, I don't know, guys. Imagine building someone such a helpful tool to spread their work, then using that site to promote his book for 3 years, only to have that person call you names and question your sexuality over and over again on his channel. You know, I have a hard time wrapping my head around it, right? And many of you should too. I have 5 years of videos on YouTube. If I said anything offensive that's deserving of that, it would have been found and brought to light by now, but it doesn't exist. So I don't know what's going on over there. He certainly seems a lot more concerned with me than I'm concerned with him. I was on my Discord earlier today, and I saw some people talking about Zach, as that's a common topic on there, as you would imagine. And I can't remember if it's in this video or the comments or whatever, but the reason so many people are upset with Zach is that they're accusing him of being akin to a snake oil salesman. Now, there's no question that when Zach burst onto the scene, he was ridiculously accurate with sports predictions, to the point where it instantly showed people that the games were rigged. I mean, is it a coincidence that 2 or 3 years later, sports gambling was legal in most parts of the nation? Again, I'll let you be the judge of that. But this news story here, again, I saw this about 10 minutes after I ran the gematria of the phrase snake oil salesman, which I had been thinking about for a couple of weeks. And what is a snake oil salesman? Well, this is a pretty classical term that's used to describe fraudulent or deceptive marketing. And certainly there's been some level of deception on that channel. And
You got that right.
Again, you guys be the judge. Check out the video for yourself. I'm all for, you know, people seeing everything they can and listening to full context and everything. And maybe for the sake of humor, some context is lost here. But, you know, again, this stuff gets a lot of support. It's pretty interesting, and the comments are fascinating. So I encourage you guys to check everything out. And as always, just keep an open mind. You know, when I found gematria, it was one thing. Over time, it slowly melted into something else. And what that new thing is far more beautiful, far more enlightening, far more awesome than what I thought it just was.
And a lot of you guys are listening to people who are nutcases. Like, somebody just made a video about me being a snake oil salesman with the wackest decode in the history of the world. That person might have a mental illness. To call me a snake oil salesman is the exact opposite of the truth.
Stop lying. You know, every year you're just a liar. That's all you do. You just lie about everything. There's no truth that comes out of your mouth. You know? Till next time, truth seeker.